late slip issue is a big issue anymore. A lot of the postmasters think that if they can tender all the mail to you right before your scheduled time of departure, then they act like you're supposed to stay there and work the extra mail that comes in later. As I understand it, the way it's supposed to work is if the post office was at fault that required the contractor driver to stay later than their scheduled time of departure, then they think that they don't have to write a late slip because the mail was tendered to you before your scheduled time of departure. And that's not the way it works. We have to have time to work the mail that's actually there past our scheduled time of departure, and then a late slip is to be issued for that time frame. Now, at the end of the route, if you come back on time or early, then that null and voids the late slip. And a lot of the postmasters have an idea that they don't have to abide by our scheduled time of departure. I personally, a week ago Friday, ran one of my routes, and I had everything ready to go. I had the truck loaded, and when it was scheduled time of departure, I left. At my first stop, I got a call from the supervisor saying that I had missed a cage and a half of parcels. I told him, I said, no. When I checked the dock, I checked where they're supposed to be putting this stuff for us. It wasn't there. And what happened was, on my way to my first stop, I crossed paths with the truck that actually was bringing the mail that came in late. And I told the supervisor, we can do one or two things. He can either write me a late slip, and obviously I'm going to go back to the post office and work that mail no matter what. And I told him, I said, I'm not any way, shape, or form saying I'm not going to deliver that mail. But what we ended up doing is I delivered the first two stops, and then I went back to the post office. He called the manager, and when I got back to the post office, they had the late slip book written out already, and I worked the mail, and it ended up being a 45-minute late slip. And I continued on with the rest of the route, finished it, and I was almost an hour late. The way it should have worked is they should have had the late slip ready when I came back. And I've had postmasters tell us that they don't have to write a late slip. And that's not what is really required, because a lot of the postmasters don't understand the language of our contracts, and they need to be better educated on this stuff. And fortunate that day they did see the light, so I ended up getting late slips. But I've got over 30 employees, and I have a lot of problems with getting late slips. Asking the postal people if they will accept the 5399 form in lieu of late slips and see what they have to say, because the 5399 form is when you sign in. When you get there, you sign out when you're done. You sign back in when you come back, and then you have 10, 15 minutes for markup and stuff like that, and then you have a scheduled time to leave. That is a legal document, and the postmaster should go by that, but there's a lot of them that won't. And hopefully this problem stops, because contractors, me myself included, I've got multiple contracts, and the labor costs has went skyrocketing, and it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt the bottom line. And so hopefully the post office will initiate a program to educate all these postmasters.